Something I want to clarify is that George Lucas, he approves all these stories at this point. Remember, this is all pre-Disney. But he was not beholding himself to those stories. So he would approve them, like the outlines and things, make sure they kind of fit. But he was not going to follow them for his own projects. He makes it very clear. He's like, you can find interviews where he's like, they do great work and all these other stories, but that's a separate universe. That's not mine. So he wasn't beholden to them, but they were definitely beholden to George Lucas. So as an example, before the prequels came out, the Jedi, they didn't know that the Jedi couldn't marry. So, Luke gets married. Other couple Jedi in the stories, they have families and things. Then the prequels come out and you find out, they're not supposed to get married. And they just kind of had to explain it that Luke did things differently. Another big one is before we saw what the Clone Wars was, it was assumed that the clones were evil. They were the villains that were being fought. And that was referenced kind of vaguely in the books. All of a sudden the Clone Wars comes out and it's like, oh no, they were the good guys all along. George would take ideas he liked. So for example, Coruscant is from a book. He took that. He liked that. Or I think like the Jedi Ayla Sakura, she was from the comics and he brought her into live action. That was cool, but he would do that. But otherwise, the authors, they would be forced to change things if he changed things because, again, he was not beholding himself to them, but they were reliant on what his stories came out. So one of the early authors, I don't remember who, I saw this in an interview, it was probably Timothy Zahn or Kevin J. Anderson. They explained that because someone asked them if they were ever upset when things had to change because of stuff George Lucas did or whatever. And he said, like, no, we were never upset because we always knew that we were essentially playing in his driveway with his toys, but we knew at any moment he could take his truck and just run over all of it. They knew that going into it.